Good evening. It is 10 p.m. here in Seoul. I'm Mari, the AI anchor with the headline news. The Iranian Navy seized an oil tanker en route to Turkey in the Gulf of Oman on Thursday morning local time, according to Iran's state-run Tasnim news agency. The report said that the action was taken in compliance with an order from an Iranian court and was allegedly in retaliation for the confiscation of the same tanker and Iranian oil by the U.S. last year. In response, the White House strongly condemned the action and urged for the ship's immediate release. Tensions have escalated further in the Middle East after the US and the UK launched airstrikes against Iran-backed Houthi military targets in Yemen. The attack on Thursday local time is a retaliation against Houthi attacks on ships passing through the Red Sea. The presence of the US and the UK may further escalate the regional crisis. Eyes are on Iran as to whether this will further trickle into a US-Iran war or remain a proxy conflict. The US has imposed sanctions on Russian entities and one individual over the arms transfers between North Korea and Russia. On Thursday, the US imposed sanctions on 3 Russian entities and one individual involved in the transfer and testing of North Korean ballistic missiles for Russia's use against Ukraine. Both Pyongyang and Moscow denied the allegations, but the South Korean Unification Ministry said the arms transfers are evident. South Korea's new foreign minister, Guterres, called on Japanese companies to help resolve the issue of wartime forced labor together. He said on Friday that he hopes Japanese firms could ride on the same boat to settle this issue. His remarks come after the South Korean government last year announced its plan to compensate the victims using funds procured through a public foundation, instead of from the Japanese companies responsible. With January rolling around, the annual World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland will kick off next Monday under the theme of Rebuilding Trust. Around 2,800 global economic figures are attending and 380 events set to be held. Prime Minister Han Duck-soo is set to participate and will meet with leaders of other countries and key companies to discuss South Korea's cooperation with them. The latest economic green book released by the Ministry of Economy and Finance on Friday showed that South Korea's exports are seeing an upward trajectory with a recovery in the IT industry, while domestic demand remains slow. Outbound shipments of chips increased by 13% on year in December, as more than half of the country's 15 key export sectors saw a rise. Retail sales, a key gauge of private spending, fell by 0.3% on year, despite slowing inflation. That brings us to the end of tonight's AI headline news. Thank you for watching. Good night.